Have you heard of the cowboy legend, Roy Rogers? In the 1940s, his name resonated widely, especially among young girls who held him as a heroic figure. Renowned for his musical and acting prowess, Roy Rogers also earned admiration for his role as a devoted family man. As the father of 12 children, Rogers undoubtedly faced numerous challenges, yet the personal stories of his life during his illustrious career remained concealed from the public eye. Now, a quarter of a century since Roy's passing, his daughter has unveiled some startling revelations about his life. Delve into the tragic tales in this video. It's a revelation you won't want to miss. Roy Rogers' daughter shared insights into the life and career of the legendary King of the Cowboys. She revealed that her father, born Leonard Sly in Cincinnati, Ohio, on November 5, 1911, initially embarked on a musical career upon moving to California in 1930. Rogers joined various bands, notably co-founding the Sons of the Pioneers with Bob Nolan. However, it was in 1938 that he took on the name Roy Rogers, marking the beginning of his iconic journey in Hollywood westerns after signing a contract with Republic Pictures. Roy Rogers' journey into the realm of country western music and Hollywood stardom began with a simple trade, a bushel for a guitar. Embracing his passion for music, he co-founded the Sons of the Pioneers, a group that gained recognition for their signature song, Tumbling Tumbleweeds, earning them cameo appearances in a few films. The turning point in Rogers' career occurred when he learned that Republic Pictures was searching for a new singing cowboy. Gene Autry, the studio's star, was entangled in a contract dispute over money. Eager to seize the opportunity, Rogers attempted to audition, but was turned away by the studio guard. Undeterred, he employed a clever tactic, sneaking in with Western extras. To his surprise, he felt a hand on his shoulder, not the guard, but a producer who recognized him from the Sons of the Pioneers. Instructed to grab his guitar, Rogers found himself winning the audition that would alter the course of his career. In the pursuit of stardom, Rogers realized he needed a more heroic and memorable name. Previously known as Len Sly with the Sons of the Pioneers and using the moniker Dick Weston for bit movie parts, he adopted the iconic name Roy Rogers. The choice was deliberate, with the last name paying homage to humorist Will Rogers, one of Roy's personal heroes. The first name, Roy, was selected for its American variation of the French word for king, symbolizing a regal and commanding presence befitting the emerging cowboy star. Roy Rogers' rise to stardom took a significant leap in 1938 when he replaced Gene Autry in the film Under Western Stars. The film marked a turning point for Rogers, winning over both critics and audiences with his charismatic performance. Little did he know that this was the beginning of a remarkable career that would establish him as the #1 Western star at the box office for an impressive 12 consecutive years, spanning from 1943 to 1954. A crucial element of Rogers' on-screen persona was his golden Palomino stallion, Trigger. The bond between Rogers and Trigger was not just a cinematic partnership. They were truly inseparable. Trigger became a star in his own right, billed on posters alongside Rogers as the smartest horse in the movies. The duo's connection and Trigger's intelligence contributed significantly to the success and popularity of Roy Rogers' films. During his reign as the top Western star, Roy Rogers achieved a level of fame and success that rivaled even Walt Disney in terms of merchandise. His impact reached beyond the screen, making him a cultural icon with a massive presence in popular culture. Reflecting on his role in the lives of families, Rogers once shared in a 1992 interview with The Inquirer, "I feel like I was a kind of babysitter for mothers in those days. They could drop their kids off and then come back and pick them up about 5 in the evening, and they'd be happy and full of candy and popcorn. This statement underlines the wholesome and family-friendly nature of Rogers' entertainment, making him a trusted figure for parents and a beloved personality for children. Roy Rogers' personal life was marked by both joy and heartbreak, and his journey into fatherhood and a second chance at love is a poignant chapter in his story. Despite his love for children, Rogers and his first wife, Arlene, faced challenges in starting a family of their own. In 1942, they made the decision to adopt a baby girl, Cheryl, setting the stage for a new chapter in their lives. However, tragedy struck when Arlene passed away just days after giving birth to their biological children, Linda Lou in 1943 and Roy Rogers Jr., affectionately known as Dusty, in 1946. Devastated by the loss of his first wife and now a widower with 3 young children, Roy Rogers faced a profound personal crisis. During this difficult time, Rogers found solace and companionship with his longtime co-star, Dale Evans. The bond between them deepened, and in a moment of unexpected romance, Rogers proposed to Evans before a rodeo show. Riding into the arena on his beloved horse, Trigger, he popped the question, and to his delight, Evans mouthed the word yes when she joined him in the spotlight. The King of the Cowboys and the Queen of the West were united in marriage on New Year's Eve in 1947. This union not only marked the beginning of a new family, but also symbolized a fresh start for Rogers, who found love and support in Dale Evans during a challenging period in his life. In 1950, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans welcomed their own biological child, Robin, into the world. However, their joy was accompanied by the unexpected news that Robin was born with Down syndrome, a condition that often carried stigmas and misconceptions in that era. Despite the prevailing medical advice of the time, which recommended placing children with Down syndrome in institutions, Roy and Dale made a firm decision to bring Robin home. In the face of societal norms and medical recommendations, Roy Rogers stood resolute, declaring, "No, we are going home." This decision reflected a profound commitment to embrace and love their daughter unconditionally. Robin's presence in their lives, though challenging in the eyes of the society of that time, brought an unexpected perspective and a deep sense of peace to Roy and Dale. Tragically, Robin's life was cut short when she contracted mumps, which developed into mumps encephalitis. She passed away just days after celebrating her second birthday. The grief of losing a child is an unimaginable burden, and as they stood beside Robin's coffin, Roy Rogers expressed a poignant sentiment saying, "She looks like a small-sized sleeping angel." In the aftermath of Robin's passing, Dale Evans channeled her grief and love for her daughter into a book titled Angel Unaware. The book shared the story of Robin's life, highlighting the challenges, joys, and love that she brought to the family. Angel Unaware played a crucial role in changing public perceptions of children with developmental disabilities. Through their openness and willingness to share their personal journey, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans became advocates for acceptance and understanding, contributing to a more compassionate and informed view of individuals with Down syndrome. In October 1952, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans made a memorable visit to Cincinnati, performing at Cincinnati Gardens and appearing on Ruth Lyons' show, The 50 Club, on WLWT. The legendary Trigger, Rogers' Golden Palomino stallion, was equipped with special rubber shoes for a remarkable feat. He climbed the steps to Crosley Square, located at the northeast corner of 9th and Elm Streets downtown, and even entered the elevator to reach Lyons' studio. During this visit, the couple shared a heartwarming announcement with the audience. They were in the process of adopting another little girl named Mary Little Doe, affectionately known as Dodie. Notably, Dodie was part Choctaw, and Rogers humorously mentioned his own distant Choctaw heritage, stating, "I'm part Choctaw myself. I'm 164th. Amidst their performances and media appearances, the couple's compassion extended to a remarkable encounter with a woman from a home for disabled children in Covington. Learning about the opportunity to meet Roy Rogers, a few children were brought backstage to interact with the famous cowboy. In his full cowboy attire, Rogers encountered a 6-year-old boy who had endured abuse from alcoholic parents and had been abandoned. Despite the hardships he had faced, the boy greeted Rogers with a loud, "Howdy, partner!" Rogers, ever perceptive, noticed the deep scars in the boy's eyes, revealing a painful history. Touched by the encounter, Rogers decided to extend his love and care to the young boy. They adopted him and named him John David, affectionately calling him Sandy. Not long after, the family added a 13-year-old girl, Mimi, from Scotland. The daughter highlighted the significant impact Mimi Swift had on his life and career, underscoring the close-knit nature of the Rogers family. Marion Fleming, later known as Mimi Swift, had a truly remarkable life story that unfolded against the backdrop of World War II. Born in an air raid shelter in Edinburgh, Scotland during the war, Marion spent her formative years in orphanages until a chance encounter with Hollywood royalty changed the course of her life. Her extraordinary journey began when she showcased her singing talent to none other than Roy Rogers and Dale Evans during their visit to Dunforth Children's Home in 1954. Impressed by her stunning voice and vibrant personality, the famous cowboy couple decided to adopt her, bringing her into their family at their ranch in California. As one of the 9 children of Roy and Dale, Marion, who later adopted the name Mimi Swift, flourished in her new environment, surrounded by love and care from her parents and siblings. Her life took on a new dimension as she traveled the world and met numerous celebrities alongside her adoptive family. Mimi formed a particularly close bond with her sister Dodie, who had also been adopted shortly before her. For Roy Rogers, Mimi held a special place in his heart, considering her his daughter in every way. He expressed his deep affection, stating, "She's been with us since she was 13 years old. We love her just as much as we do our own children." Recognizing her singing ability, he encouraged Mimi to pursue her musical talents. Over the years, she often shared the stage with Roy, Dale, and their other children, showcasing her singing prowess at various events and shows. Despite her Hollywood upbringing, Mimi remained grounded, kind, generous, and humble. She never forgot her roots and made multiple visits to Scotland to reconnect with her birthplace and heritage. Additionally, Mimi dedicated herself to charitable causes, notably supporting the Happy Trails Children's Foundation founded by Roy and Dale. Her commitment extended to serving as the president of the foundation board for many years. Mimi Swift passed away on January 25, 2021, at the age of 80. Leaving behind a legacy of joy and inspiration inherited from her adoptive parents, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. In her lifetime, she became a mother to 3 children, a grandmother to 6, a great-grandmother to 2, and a beloved friend to countless others who cherished her deeply. Mimi's impact on the world extended beyond her immediate family, reflecting the enduring influence of the legendary Hollywood couple who chose to make her a part of their extraordinary journey. Roy Rogers, a man who understood the paramount importance of family, found a profound connection with Mimi Rogers that transcended mere adoption. Mimi, born Marion Fleming and later adopting the name Mimi Swift, embodied gratitude, love, and respect, making Roy Rogers feel like she was an integral part of his family. Recognizing the opportunity that Roy and Dale Evans provided for her to have a better life and a loving home, Mimi never took their kindness for granted. Instead, she embraced the chance to create a strong familial bond with them and her siblings. Beyond the familial connection, Mimi Rogers and Roy Rogers shared a deep passion for music and singing. Her ethereal voice had left a lasting impression on him when they first met at the orphanage. Encouraged by Roy, Mimi pursued her musical talents, and the two often performed together at various events and shows. Their special connection extended to musical collaboration, with Roy imparting his knowledge by teaching Mimi how to play the guitar and harmonize with him. This father-daughter musical team developed a unique and enduring bond that lasted until Roy Rogers' passing. However, Their shared love for music was not the sole factor uniting them. Mimi Rogers deeply respected Roy Rogers' values and beliefs. She wholeheartedly embraced his Christian faith and humanitarian spirit, aligning herself with the principles that guided his life. This shared foundation of values and spirituality strengthened the connection between Mimi and Roy, creating a profound understanding that extended beyond the realm of family ties. In 1955, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans expanded their family once again by adopting Lu I Lee, a 3-year-old orphan from the Korean War. They lovingly named her Debbie Lee. The addition of Debbie brought joy and new beginnings to the Rogers family. Tragedy struck the family on August 17, 1964, just days after Debbie's 12th birthday. She was on a church bus trip to deliver food and clothing to an orphanage in Tijuana, Mexico, when a tire blew, causing a devastating crash. Debbie and her friend lost their lives in the tragic accident, leaving the Rogers family in mourning. The challenges continued for the Rogers family in 1965 when 18-year-old Sandy, the boy they had adopted after meeting him backstage in Cincinnati, was serving in an Army Tank Corps in Germany. One night, he succumbed to heavy drinking, leading to his untimely death. Despite the heart-wrenching losses, Roy Rogers maintained a resilient spirit and philosophical outlook on life. In a 1992 interview with the Inquirer's John Kiesewetter, he shared a perspective shaped by both joy and sorrow, stating, "If you don't have tough times in your life, it's hard to appreciate the good times. Life is what you get out of it. You can help make misery, or you can help make happiness." In the later stages of his illustrious career, Roy Rogers confronted significant financial challenges that cast a shadow over his wealth and status in Hollywood. One of the major setbacks came when he lost his deal with Republic Pictures due to a conflict of interest. Undeterred, he took the bold step of starting his own company, which unfortunately did not fare well, adding to his financial struggles. Complicating matters, he faced stiff competition from other Western stars who held more appeal to the evolving audience. Financial strain compelled Rogers to part with valuable properties and collectibles, selling them to offset mounting debts and taxes. Legal battles and unwise investments further drained his resources. Despite attempts to diversify into different types of movies and TV shows to stay relevant, he couldn't quite recapture the heights of his former glory. Throughout these trials, Roy Rogers remained unwavering in his faith and commitment to his family. A devout Christian, he leaned on God's grace and guidance, finding solace in prayer and Bible readings with his wife Dale Evans, who shared his religious convictions. Regular church attendance and support for various Christian causes reflected his steadfast devotion. Rogers, expressing gratitude for the blessings in his life, once conveyed, "I've always been a religious person because I'm thankful for all that God has given me." Despite financial hardships, he cherished his family as his greatest treasure. This included his children, both biological and adopted, whom he loved deeply and treated with equality. Grandchildren and great-grandchildren were also recipients of his adoration. To uplift his spirits, Rogers spent quality time with his family, engaging in activities such as playing games, telling stories, singing songs, and indulging in horseback riding. Through these moments, he imparted values of honesty, kindness, generosity, and courage to the younger generations. In a touching testament to the significance of his family, Roy Rogers was quoted as saying, "My family is my life." In July 1988, Roy Rogers returned to Cincinnati for a significant event, the famous Greater Cincinnatians Homecoming, which was part of the city's bicentennial celebrations. This marked a nostalgic return for the iconic cowboy to the city where he had made memorable appearances decades earlier. During the homecoming, Rogers engaged with fans at various locations, including Fountain Square and Roy Rogers restaurants in Florence and Springdale. Despite the passage of time, he still managed to connect with a new generation of admirers. Bending over to speak to a young boy, Rogers humorously remarked, "At your age, you probably never heard of Roy Rogers." However, the boy quickly responded, affirming that indeed he was familiar with the legendary cowboy. This homecoming coincided with another major event in Cincinnati, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game held at Riverfront Stadium. The convergence of these two significant events brought a star-studded lineup of 80 celebrities to town. Despite the formidable presence of these renowned figures, it was Roy Rogers who captured the spotlight and garnered the most attention. Sadly, on July 6, 1998, the legendary Roy Rogers passed away at the age of 86 at his ranch in Apple Valley near Victorville, California. His death was attributed to congestive heart failure, and he was surrounded by his beloved wife, Dale Evans, and other family members who remained by his side during his final moments. In the days leading up to his death, Roy Rogers, weakened by illness, spent his time resting and praying. Despite his physical frailty, he managed to convey love and warmth through smiles and hand squeezes to those gathered around him. Importantly, he found peace within himself and with his God as he approached the end of his remarkable life. Roy's final words, "I never expected to see you in heaven," were tenderly spoken to his son, Dusty Rogers, with whom he had reconciled shortly before his passing. The estrangement between father and son, rooted in personal and religious differences, had been resolved, and Roy expressed his happiness at the reunion, hoping for a future meeting in heaven. News of Roy Rogers' death resonated deeply with millions of fans worldwide who had grown up watching his iconic movies and TV shows. Remembered as a hero, a legend, and an embodiment of the American West, Roy was also celebrated for his kindness, generosity, and humility. His charitable work, particularly in supporting children, left a lasting impact on the hearts of many. Roy's funeral, held on July 11th at Sunset Hills Memorial Park in Apple Valley, was attended by hundreds of mourners, including various celebrities. Dale Evans, Roy's wife of 51 years, delivered a moving eulogy, stating, "Heaven rejoices today, because another saint has come home." The poignant farewell included a rendition of "Happy Trails," sung by Dale and her children, marking a heartfelt adieu to the beloved cowboy. The media and fellow stars alike mourned Roy Rogers' passing, paying tribute to a man who embodied wholesome values and compassion. Remembrances highlighted his enduring legacy, not just as an entertainment icon, but as a kind and philanthropic soul. Tributes from figures such as President Clinton, Clint Black, Gene Autry, Pat Boone, and Michael Landon Jr. underscored the profound impact Roy Rogers had on American culture and the entertainment industry. Even though we haven't seen Roy Rogers in 25 years, his children and grandchildren somehow still remind the public of him with respect. Recently, Roy Rogers' granddaughter, Julie Rogers Pamilia, spoke up to correct some rumors related to her grandfather. She shared insights into the challenges her grandfather faced with the Hollywood executives' attempts to mold him into a different image, reminiscent of Western star Clark Gable. According to Julie, the executives aimed for the distinctive eyes of Clark Gable, attempting to alter Roy's appearance to align more closely with the renowned actor. However, this endeavor proved challenging, as Julie admitted. It was Clark Gable's eyes that they were shooting for when it came to Grandpa, but he was never going to have Clark Gable's eyes. As the executives realized the impracticality of achieving this transformation and faced a backlash from fans who cherished Roy's authentic image, they were compelled to abandon the modification efforts. Julie elaborated on the situation, stating, "So his eyes were bigger, and all of a sudden he started getting fan mail from people saying, 'Hey, what are you doing to Roy's eyes?'" This prompted a reversal of the attempted changes, with fans expressing a preference for Roy's trademark squinty eyes. Julie also shared anecdotes about the movie executives' attempts to reshape her grandfather's image according to their standards. In their quest for a picture-perfect persona, the executives pressed Rogers to enhance his physique. Julie revealed, "They said he didn't have enough muscles, so they wanted him to do 100 handstands a day and walk around on his hands, and he did that." As a result, Roy began walking from set to set on his hands. However, these efforts to conform to a specific physical ideal didn't resonate with the audience, and the attempted changes failed to make a lasting impact. Additionally, Republic Pictures, the studio Rogers was associated with, sought to enhance his social presence by encouraging him to attend Hollywood parties and events. This presented a challenge for Rogers, who was naturally shy and not accustomed to the glitz and glamour of the Hollywood social scene. Julie elaborated on this aspect, stating, "And when they wanted him to go to Hollywood parties, he was shy, painfully shy. He was just bashful. He didn't know what to say." Recognizing his discomfort with small talk and social events, Roy proposed a solution, asking if he could bring a friend. The studio agreed, expecting him to mingle and network with other celebrities. However, Roy's choice of a companion reflected his down-to-earth nature. Julie shared, "He brought his hunting buddy. They sat on the couch all night and talked about coon hunting." This humorous and unexpected turn of events left the executives realizing that the Hollywood party scene wasn't a natural fit for the king of the cowboys. What do you think about these exclusive revelations from Roy Rogers' daughter and granddaughter about his rumors? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.